Namaste and welcome to this 30-minute yoga practice suitable for all levels. Please prepare your yoga mat and find a comfortable place to practice. If needed, gather any props such as blankets or bolster for support during inversions. Let's meet on the mat as soon as you're ready. Hi, I'm Liat and welcome to Yoga by Liat. Ready? Let's begin. See you on the mat. Once you're settled, softly close your eyes and take a moment to connect with your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, allowing the breath to nourish your body. And exhale slowly, releasing any tension or stress. Each breath becomes a gentle reminder to be present, inviting relaxation and tranquility into the practice. Bow your head slightly. Softly rest your palms on your legs. Inhale and lift your head. Gently open your eyes, welcoming the practice ahead. Begin in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Place your hands shoulder width apart and feet hip width apart. Spread your fingers wide and press your palms firmly into the mat, lengthening through your spine, and draw your tailbone towards the ceiling. Take deep breaths here. From downward facing dog, exhale and step or jump your feet forward to come into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Next, move into sun salutation, Surya Namaskar, for 3 rounds. Stand at the front of your mat. Inhale as you raise your arms overhead and exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift and exhale to jump or step into downward facing dog. Shift your body weight forward to plank pose. Lower down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward dog and exhale to downward dog. From downward facing dog, exhale and step or jump your feet forward to come into Uttanasana. Inhale as you engage your core and legs. Come up to standing position with your arms reaching overhead. Bring your palms in front of your chest and then release them down by your sides. You have completed a round of sun salutation. Repeat this sequence 2 more times, moving at your own pace and synchronizing your breath with each movement. Enjoy the rejuvenating flow of sun salutation and the connection between breath and movement in your yoga practice. Repeat this sequence 1 more time, moving at your own pace and with your own breath. From downward dog, step your right foot forward and come into warrior 2. Hold for 5 deep breaths. Then, transition into triangle pose by strengthening your right leg and reach your right hand down to your shin, ankle, or the floor. Extend your left hand towards the ceiling and gaze up at your left thumb. Next, come into extended side angle pose, Utthita Paschimottanasana, by bending your right knee and placing your right hand on the floor or a block outside your right foot. Extend your left hand towards the ceiling and gaze up at your left hand. Then transition into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana, by placing your right hand on a block or the floor and lifting your left leg to be parallel to the floor. Lower your foot softly to the mat and come back to downward facing dog. Repeat on your left side. From downward dog, step your left foot forward and come into warrior 2. Hold for 5 breaths. Then, transition into triangle pose by straightening your left leg and reaching your left hand down to your shin, ankle, or the floor. Hold for 5 breaths. Come into extended side angle pose, Utthita Paschimottanasana, by bending your left knee and placing your left hand on the floor or a block outside your left foot. Hold for 5 breaths. Then transition into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana, by placing your left hand on the block or the floor and lifting your right leg to be parallel to the floor. Reach your right hand towards the ceiling and gaze straight ahead while maintaining balance. Hold for 5 breaths. Lower your foot softly to the mat and come back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, exhale and step or jump your feet forward to come into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale as you engage your core and legs. Come back to standing and shift your weight onto your left foot. Place your right foot on your left inner thigh and fold your palms in front of your chest. If possible, lift your arms straight up while balancing on your leg. Hold for 5 breaths on each side, feeling the grounding sensation in your standing leg and the lengthening sensation in your spine. Next, step into Prasarita Padottanasana or wide-legged forward fold. Begin by standing with your feet about 4 feet apart, with your toes pointing straight ahead. Inhale and lift your chest facing upwards. Exhale and hinge forward from your hips, maintaining the length in your spine as you fold. Exhale and lower your head towards the floor while keeping your legs straight and engaged. Stay here for 5 deep breaths, allowing your hamstring to lengthen with each exhalation. To come back up to standing, inhale and engage your legs and core muscles as you lift your torso to an upright position. Moving on to more advanced poses, let's come into Sirsasana, also known as Headstand. Fold your mat to place a blanket for cushioning. Place your elbows on the mat at shoulder width and interlace your fingers. Place the top of your head on the mat and lift your shoulders. Lift your knees and slowly walk your feet towards your face until your hips are over your shoulders. For those who don't want to attempt a headstand, feel free to stay in child pose or continue to hold the previous pose. If you're familiar with Sirsasana, headstand, you can come into the pose by lifting your legs in line with your head and finding balance. You have the option to practice in the center of the room or next to a wall for added support and stability. Lower your legs and rest in child pose, Adho Mukha Virasana. Next, we'll move into wheel pose, also known as Urdhva Dhanurasana. Start by lying on your back with your hands under your shoulders, fingers pointing towards your feet. Keep your feet hip-width apart and toes pointing forward. Press into your hands and feet, engage your core and glutes as you lift your hips towards the ceiling. Allow your head and neck to relax. Breathe deeply and listen to your body. If you feel any discomfort or strain, gently release the pose and come back to a resting position. Hold this pose for 3 breaths, then slowly release. Repeat this 2 more times, focusing on maintaining alignment and finding your own balance and strength. During the pose, keep your knees at pelvic width and your feet parallel to each other. Straighten your arms fully to deepen the stretch. Enjoy the opening and heart-opening benefits of wheel pose as you embrace this energizing and empowering posture. Prepare surface for shoulder stand. Lie down on your back and come into shoulder stand by lifting your legs towards the ceiling and placing your hands on your back ribs for support. Hold for 15 breaths, gazing at your chest. Next, transition into Plow pose by bringing your feet over your head and placing your hands on the floor behind you, interlocking your fingers. Hold for 5 breaths. Come to a seated position and extend your legs out in front of you for seated forward bend. Inhale and lengthen your spine and exhale as you fold forward. Hold for 5 breaths. Then come into head to knee pose, Janu Sirsasana, by bending your right knee and placing the sole of your right foot on your left thigh. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling and then forward towards your left foot. Hold for 5 breaths. Then switch sides by straightening your right leg and bending your left knee. Repeat the same pose on the left side, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling and then forward towards your right foot. Hold for 5 breaths. These poses are great for stretching your hamstring, lower back, and hips. Remember to keep your spine long and your shoulder relaxed as you fold forward. Lie down on your back with your legs comfortably apart and your arms by your side, palms facing up. Close your eyes and allow your body to fully relax into the ground, releasing any holding or tension in your muscles. Soften your face, jaw, and forehead and let go of any thoughts or distractions. Shavasana, also known as corpse pose, is the final resting pose in a yoga practice. It serves as a powerful way to integrate and assimilate the benefits of the entire practice. It allows your body and mind to enter a state of deep relaxation, promoting physical and mental rejuvenation. In Shavasana, focus on your breath, letting it flow naturally and smoothly without trying to control it. Allow yourself to surrender and to be present in the moment. Stay in Shavasana for at least 5 minutes or longer if you have the time. During this time, you may experience a sense of peace, stillness, and inner calm. When it's time to come out of the pose, slowly roll onto your right side. Then use your left hand to push yourself up to a seated position, maintaining the tranquility and serenity you cultivated in Shavasana. Take a moment to pause and feel the effects of the practice. Namaste.